The difference between role strain and role conflict may seem clear when reviewing notes or Anki cards, but the hard part is choosing one on MCAT's PsySoc questions, like this one. And I bet you're watching this video because you're always choosing the wrong one. In this video tip, I'll show you a deciding factor to help you easily choose between role strain and role conflict so you can get these correct every time from here on out. Back to that question. Lengthy question stem, but important to read it entirely to get context. So pause it and take a moment to read it without thinking too much about it or trying to predict answers before briefly previewing the answer choice options. Then unpause and we'll jump in. To increase our chances of getting this correct, let's start by eliminating some answer choices. Role exit is disengaging from a role that is central to one's self-identity. But there is no mention of the resident leaving her job or family, so eliminate A. Role ambiguity is having several tasks and responsibilities in one role, but being unclear, confused, or clueless about these responsibilities. But there's no mention of the resident being unclear or confused about what she has to do and how to go about doing them, so eliminate B. So now we're down to C or D, role strain or role conflict. The two that are tough to choose between when dealing with chunky psych-soc questions like this one. To briefly define each, role strain is experiencing stress from struggling to keep up with several responsibilities in one role. And role conflict is having two or more roles, each with one or more responsibilities, and experiencing conflict between responsibilities across roles. Upon first read of this question stem, it seems like the resident is experiencing role strain, because in one role she has several responsibilities and is struggling with these responsibilities and becoming stressed. But she has another role and several responsibilities in that role, too. There are two distinct roles in this question stem, resident physician and family member, leading to role conflict, which is the correct answer. I know what you're thinking. That's a lot to have to reread and process, and it's easy to miss some information in such a chunky question stem. So how can I make this easier? Well, here's our tip. The easy and quick way to choose between role strain or role conflict is number of distinct environments mentioned in the question stem. Scan the question stem for the number of distinct environments. In this one, there are two or more, at the hospital, at home, and even at events. If there are two or more environments, then it's role conflict, which is the correct answer, whereas role strain would only have one environment mentioned. Let's try another question using the definitions of role strain and role conflict first, and then we'll do it using the environment tip. Once again, pause it, read it entirely without thinking too much or trying to predict answers before previewing the answer choices. Then unpause it, and we'll get into it. Like before, let's try eliminate some answer choices first. Impression management is a conscious or unconscious attempt to influence other people's perceptions of things, events, or people. But there was no mention of teachers trying to influence or change others' perceptions, so eliminate B. Labeling theory says that societal reactions to deviant behavior and labeling someone as deviant tends to amplify deviance rather than deter it. While you might be thinking, high school students, deviants, there's no such mention of deviant behavior in the question stem, so eliminate C. Now we're left with role strain versus role conflict again. Just what you're watching this video for. Remember, role strain is one role and experiencing strain from juggling and struggling with several responsibilities. And role conflict is two or more roles, each with responsibilities that may conflict with each other. In this question stem, only one role is mentioned, teacher, and with several responsibilities that teachers feel overwhelmed about. Only one role makes it role strain, which is the correct answer. Or, once again, an easier way to answer such questions can be number of environments in the question stem. And there's only one, school, and one environment means role strain, which is the correct answer. Let's work through one more example, a tough one, where the deciding factor of number environments makes the difference in getting it correct. But before I forget to tell you, for free notes about role strain and role conflict and some of the other terms that came up in this video, Plus, a few more practice questions with explanations. Use the link in the description of this video to download a copy. Now back to our last question. Pause it one last time, read it, briefly overview the answer options, unpause, and then we'll jump in. Thanks for coming back. You'll like this example. Let's first try eliminate some answer choices, no matter how hard that may seem sometimes. Just the process of trying to eliminate before analyzing question stems helps heighten our awareness to and better process all the information in PsySoc questions. You may have thought of groupthink as a possible answer since it's about group decision making and saw that she was part of an organization, a group. But this question stem is greatly centric around her as a college student and the president of a student organization, where she is expected to accomplish several responsibilities that make her feel mentally and emotionally taxed, all of which have taken a toll on her academics. Plus, the question itself asks about the impact on her. So this is not really about a group, just one individual, so eliminate A. Social facilitation describes how the presence of others can influence an individual's performance on tasks, but there is no mention of other people influencing her performance. It's just about how she's been taxed by all the responsibilities in her leadership role and the toll that these responsibilities have taken on her academics, so eliminate C. And lo and behold, we're down to role strain versus role conflict again. Who'd have thought? Role conflict may seem like a good answer since the question stem said college student and president of student organization, which sounds like two roles, each with their own responsibilities. Plus, it says competing demands, which sounds like conflict. But this is when number of environments becomes an important factor in getting this correct. Being a student and leader of a student organization both happen in one environment, college, and one environment means role strain, which is the correct answer. So, the tip for when you're deciding between role strain and role conflict on an MCAT PsySoc question, scan the question stem for number of environments. If there's only one environment, choose role strain. If there's two or more distinct environments, choose role conflict. Simple as that. Before you go, we have more MCAT tips and tricks for high yield, high trouble questions as seen on practice tests. Tips and tricks that will help you effortlessly get more correct on your tests. So subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can catch our Don't Think Too Much tips and tricks as we post them. Thank you for watching.